Welcome back to ENTC 2160 Architectural CAD. In the first video, you learned how to set up your first drawing. As a quick reminder or a quick review, you would automatically go back to the big A for the architectural symbol for architectural desktop. You would select that, and then you will see some options here. You would select your drawing utilities. From drawing utilities, you would then go up to drawing setup. And then from there, as we indicated from the first video, you would change your units, change your scale. Once you do that, you hit apply and then OK, and then you're set. Today, what we're going to do is talk about, what do you do once you have your drawing already set up? Now that you have your drawing already set up, we're going to talk a little bit about the various tools that we will be using as part of constructing our drawing here. First thing I wanted to mention is that regarding the tools that we're going to use, there are basically three ways that we're going to be inputting data into CAD in order to utilize the tools. First, as you can see, this cursor, which in this case I have a mouse that's driving this. And if you have a laptop or some other device, you may not necessarily be using a mouse, but I find it more convenient for me to use a mouse because it allows me a greater level of precision with a mouse versus using my keyboard to manage up and down and right to left. So first thing that we have is a keyboard, is the mouse. So let me talk a little bit about that. With the mouse, you have pretty much three buttons. You have a left mouse button, you have a right mouse button, and you have a center selection on your mouse. And so if I select the left mouse button, as you can see, I'm holding it down and I'm just moving the cursor around the screen. You can see things happen. That's a select button or an enter button that allows you to select specific things. Middle mouse button, if I go to the center middle mouse button and I hold it down, you see like the hand that shows up. This allows you to pan around on your screen. As you can see, the grids are just moving around. So let's imagine having a drawing on this screen. If you have a drawing on the screen, this pan button will allow you to center the drawing or move it to the right, move it to the left, move it up, move it down, and we'll show that in an application a little later. And then the left mouse button is like going back or is allowing you to have another set of options. So as you can see, there's a dialog box that will show up here based on just selecting the left mouse button. So depending on what function or what operation you're in, if you wanted a set of tools, you can essentially select the right mouse button. And anytime you want to get out of an operation, just simply hit the escape key on the keyboard and it takes you back to where you're going. So that is the mouse that we're talking about. Regarding the keyboard, there are a lot of things on the keyboard that we can use. If you look at the top of your keyboard, you'll see the F keys or function keys. They have specific areas that you can respond to. For an example, you have F1, you have F2, and have F3, and they all respond to specific things. For an example, if you look here at this little icon here, this is your snap option right here. So if I go to my keyboard and I select F3, and that's what I'm doing right now, I'm not selecting anything from my mouse, even though I could. But right now, if I move my mouse here in the middle of the screen and I just select F3, you can see that I have the ability to toggle the snapping on and off. So each one of the F keys will respond to a particular icon that's in AutoCAD. So as you work through AutoCAD, you will learn how or learn what those F keys respond to. There are three things that I want you to focus on as you're doing drawing. And that is accuracy, neatness, and speed. Accuracy is just making sure you do the work the right way. Neatness is make sure that your work looks really good when you do it. And then finally, speed. That's where you actually are able to increase your ability to complete a drawing much faster as you learn how to use the different tools. Now, another thing about the keyboard is that the keyboard has a lot of keys on there, and each one of the keyboards have a tendency to respond to a particular operation as well. For an example, if I just come to this particular line tool here and just draw a line on the screen and hit escape just to go back one, you can see this line. If I wanted to select the line, I can use my left mouse button like I did before and put a box around this, and it will select that particular line. If I want to erase that line, I can just simply hit delete from the keyboard since it's selected, or I can select another tool. For an example, let me escape out of this. I'm just going to hit the E key on the keyboard and hit enter. And the keyboard, as you can see, that letter E is telling me now I can select something and erase. So what I just done is use the keyboard to select E as a quick key. That allows me to now choose a line and then hit enter, and that line goes away. A third way of inputting information is to simply pull your drag down, or pull these drag down boxes that you have here and select things. For an example, if I want to select a wall, I can select a wall, curtain wall, or curtain wall unit. If I want to do a door, I can select doors this way. However, each one of these words that you see up here most of them have drop downs, and it gives you a lot more options in those particular categories. Also, just like a lot of these drop downs that you see there, some of those same drop downs are also here in this tool palette as well. For an example, this is walls right here, but there's also walls here. So as you can see from this particular tab right here, walls have been selected. Therefore, you see all of these various walls that you have here, from concrete to brick to basic wall, as you can see here. And as I scroll up, using my middle mouse button to scroll up and down, you can see how all of these walls are just manipulating up and down, and then you can select. So also here, as you can see, doors, windows, and those kinds of things, they too can be located here in this particular tool. So as you can see here across your screen, we talked about all these various tools that you have here, you have access to. But if we go to insert, you have a set of tools. We go to annotate, you have a set of tools. Render, all the way down to featured apps. So again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to demonstrate to you the various tools that you have here. And what we will do from videos here out, we will continue to show you how these particular tools and applications are used to be able to construct your drawings in architectural desktop. Thank you.